Right, hello everyone, it's Get Good here. I'm just about to finish equipping my M3 light tank, Russian tier 3 light tank. It's actually, an M3 Stuart that was provided to the Russians during World War II through the Lend-Lease program. Yeah, as far as I can tell, that's the same deal for, the Valentine 2, I think. Is that Russian? Yeah, it's in the Russian line, I'm pretty sure. Valentine 2, and some other tanks, I guess. But yeah, so many tanks in this game, they might not belong to the right nations because they're either captured or provided as allies provided to the other nations. In this case, this is through the Lend-Lease program. So I'm just playing this game live right now, just looking at my first impressions on this tank. As you can see, it is very mobile, and I'm guessing this will pretty much just be like the Stuart, M3 Stuart, except wow, okay, I tried to auto-aim there, but I didn't quite click it. I think this is it's pretty decent. It's not great, from what so far I can tell. The gun's rapid firing, 37mm if I remember correctly. So, not horribly high caliber, but it gets the job done. The armor, as you can see, it does not look great, I have to admit. Right. The accuracy looks pretty decent. Aiming time, again, pretty decent. The armor, I think if you angle it well, it'll still work. Right now we're shooting against low tier targets, so it doesn't seem like the pen is a very big issue. If I remember correctly, well, I didn't actually look at the stats of this tank at all before I played it, but I'm pretty sure the M3 Stuart has pretty much the American one has pretty much the same gun as the M5. So if that's the same case with this, the pen, as long as you load gold, shouldn't be a problem even at higher tier games. So I think we're just gonna get rid of this guy, and we'll be done. Right, so as I was saying, the armor looks okay. Nothing special. Again, gun, it looks pretty accurate. It's way better than the BTSD, which is the only tier 3 tank I really keep in my garage, just because for the collecting reasons. But it does seem like the gun's pretty decent, decent pen as well. Oh my god, they capped out. Our team capped out. Yeah, okay, actually the pen isn't great, as it would seem. Here, let's take a look at the stats real quick. First game, 500 damage, top of the team, not bad. Let's take a look. 38, no, that's the armor. 38, 25, 25, so it's not particularly spectacular. 40 alpha damage. 48 pen, so it's definitely not wonderful, but it does get the job done, I think. And as you can see, I'm top tier again, which is wonderful. We're not going against any incredibly armored tanks, which is also nice. If I were going against the Su-76, I'd be pretty triggered, because that thing does have monster frontal armor for tier 3. Anyways, I'm going to, let's see, the gun depression as well. The gun depression looks pretty good. Looks like about 8 or 9 degrees, I would say. So yeah, the gun depression is certainly enough. The turret, as we were looking, it was 40 or 30 something millimeters, so it's not very good. But as we were seeing while we were aiming at the Stuart last game, it does have a pretty strong mantlet, from what I can tell. So you might be able to get a few troll bounces. And again, very good straight line speed, but the traverse definitely does not look that great. I'm gonna try blind firing this bush, but it doesn't seem like anyone's in there. Right, so now... that was a miss, surprisingly. Right, so now we're shooting at that nerfed T-46, which isn't really nerfed, it's still broken. Now we got a D1. Alright, so yeah, it's not exactly a laser gun. So the gun it's pretty good for tier 3, I'd say. good gun handling. With the pen, again, the pen's not wonderful, and alpha's not particularly high as well. So that guy's got the auto loader. I'm just gonna load gold. Oh Jesus! This guy's gonna die. Okay, let me ram him. There we go. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty heavy as well. I mean, so it should be pretty good for ramming people. Now, yeah, so you can see that the turret armor is actually quite good. Or at least the cheeks. The cheeks are their only real weak spot, and also the tumor cupola, but okay, that guy got in the way of my shot. Oh, but we are losing quite badly right now. See if I can... I'd probably compare this to like a Tetrarch gun, but a tier higher. Obviously, this is a better chassis for what it is, and I'm going to try and... Alright, so now we know what the armor on this thing is like. I'm just going to ignore the T7 because he can't pen me whatsoever. There's nowhere he can pen me, basically. Okay, so HE is enough to go through this guy. Set him on fire. He's dead. But I don't want to get Al. Yeah. I actually shot HE at him. Oops. Let's try and side scrape here. That was a pretty nice game as well. So, as you can see, the armor, not incredibly good, but it still works. Turret armor, again, pretty good. It's not great, but it works. Gun depression, pretty good. Now, I'd say the gun is probably the largest weak spot, or the weakest point of this tank. If you ask me, once I get into it, oh wow. Alright, these are some quality team makeups right here. But as I was saying, if you're shooting at something like a B2 or a DW2, this thing is probably going to have some issues. So, would I say this is a keeper? Not really. No, it's not really a keeper, because, I mean, of course, it's just, there's nothing really special about it. It's not like a T-46 or a Cruiser 4 or a T-82, which all have ridiculous armor, well, not armor, ridiculous alpha damage and stupid autoloaders and such. But it does have, so yeah, it's just pretty, it's average. It's not spectacular in any way, but it's pretty good. I mean, I'm going to sell it because, quite honestly, it's just a free garage slot. Once I ace it, that'll be it. I'm not really... Sold the T7 because that was utter garbage. This one's slightly better, but is it a keeper? Again, I don't think so. It does not have any real special traits to distinguish it among other tier 3 tanks. And imagine it is going to be a real pain to play once you get bottom tiered. Now, we're gonna aim for this guy. Yeah, just pecking away at them with our 40mm gun. Okay, I'm good at aiming, obviously. I'm gonna pump the adrenaline now, try and get rid of this guy as quick as I can. See if I can no-scope him. Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy got in the way of our shot, so he's not dead yet. And then I missed. Alright, so it's really not looking good for us. Thankfully, I'm still full health, but I don't know how much longer I can survive. We're gonna take this guy out and see if we can get away. Alright, so we're still alive. We've evened the tables here. And I'm gonna see if I can get to Noob Island. That S-35 still... He's thirsty for my blood. Right, so now we can see the pen is really not that wonderful when you're facing something like an S-35. Let's see. Gold Yeah, gold's gonna have trouble going through it. Wow. Okay, so okay, I'm in a really bad spot now. That guy does look like he's got a dead engine. So, let's see if I might be able to get around him. I'm just gonna go down and let my teammates shoot at him. If I die, then we may very well lose this game, so I'm not willing to risk it. God, get up, get up. No. Alright, he noticed me. Gold. I really do not. Yeah, you can see the good gun handling, though, where he sniped his cupola while he was moving. Looks like our M2 is going to be the one who has the largest chance of finishing him off. But, let's see. Bounce. God. Yeah, so the pen, as you can see, not great. Really not great. Even on APCR, I had trouble going through the front of this guy. There we go. And so 2 tough guns in a row, pretty decent. But the pen, not great again. So I'll just wrap it up for you guys. What are the pros? Great mobility, good gun handling, fair turret armor, decent turret armor, good gun depression, and yeah, that's about it for the pros. For the cons, bad pen, rather low alpha, but it's expected at tier 3. It's pretty average, to be honest, actually. But the alpha really isn't spectacular. It's got a really bad traverse rate on the hull, actually, for a light tank. And it's also got a rather tall profile and weak hull and side armor. So, in conclusion, a decent tank. But the one thing about it that doesn't really make it a keeper for me is the lack of any real defining characteristics. If I'm going to play something at tier 3, which is generally considered seal clubbing tier, I want to play something that's either broken OP or has something really stupid about it. Something like the T-82, which can one-shot pretty much every tank at tier 3, or something like the Cruiser 4, which has ridiculous gun depression and a stupid autoloader. The M3 Lite doesn't really have any of things. It's just run-of-the-mill average. So is it a bad tank? Again, it's not a bad tank, but is it something that I'd like to play a lot? No. So, yeah. Overall, I'd say it's worth a few games, but it's not something that I'd really enjoy playing over a long period of time. So yeah, this is Get Good, signing out.